Today, in Westminster, something extraordinary happened. Keir Starmer didn't just make a speech, he declared a confrontation. 6 words that froze the room. Putin is the only person who does not want to stop this war. Cut to visuals of shocked diplomats, flashing cameras, and scrolling news tickers. He didn't blame the Kremlin. He didn't say Russia. He said Putin by name, and with those 6 words, Britain crossed a line from diplomacy to defiance. Starmer stood before European allies and described, in excruciating detail, the human cost of Putin's war: a 6-month-old baby, a 12-year-old girl, both killed in missile strikes on civilian targets. No military base. No strategy. Just terror meant to freeze a nation before winter. His voice firmed. This is who Putin is. For the first time since the Cold War, a British Prime Minister spoke not in diplomatic euphemisms, but in moral absolutes. But Starmer's message wasn't just to Moscow, it was to Britain. You are fighting not just for Ukraine, but for the freedom cherished by every British citizen. In one sentence, he tied Britain's comfort to Kiev's survival, turning a foreign war into a domestic identity test. Analysts call it Starmer's Iron Winter, a gamble that British voters will endure rising energy bills and inflation if they believe the struggle is about freedom itself, short-term pain, long-term credibility. But if public patience runs out first, the entire strategy collapses, and Putin knows it. Within days, Britain sanctioned every Russian oil giant, not some, all. The U.S. followed. Then Europe. Then Canada. Together, they've built what insiders call a financial chokehold on Putin's war machine. But Starmer didn't stop there. He vowed to target the shadow networks that keep Russia's economy alive: oligarch wealth, shell companies in London, and secret real estate holdings hidden behind British fronts. That means retaliation is inevitable. Cyber attacks, disinformation, energy blackmail. Intelligence officials warn Britain has shifted from containment to confrontation. For decades, London followed Washington's lead. Not anymore. Today, Britain is setting the pace, the first to sanction, the first to call out Putin by name, the first to say, "We're not blinking." In Brussels, that message landed like thunder. Poland and the Baltic states celebrated. France hesitated. Germany frowned. But everyone understood what just happened. The UK reclaimed its post-Brexit identity not as a negotiator, but as Europe's line of defense. Still, populist movements across Europe are rising fast, asking the question Putin wants repeated: how much are we willing to sacrifice for someone else's war? Because Putin's real strategy isn't to win on the battlefield, it's to make democracies exhaust themselves, to make Europe so tired, so cold, so divided that unity collapses from within. Every high-energy bill, every strike, every protest is a weapon, and in that sense, Putin doesn't have to conquer, he just has to outlast. Starmer's challenge is brutal. Convince a weary nation that endurance is victory. That freedom still matters when it hurts. Across the Atlantic, America's support for Ukraine wavers under election politics. Washington is distracted. Europe is nervous. So Britain's stance today wasn't just moral theater, it was a signal to Washington. We will hold the line, even if you hesitate. Diplomats quietly admit it's risky, but it's leadership. And it might just save the Western alliance from its own fatigue. As winter closes in, the real battle won't be fought in the trenches, it'll be fought in British living rooms. In the moment, a voter looks at their heating bill and asks, is this sacrifice still worth it? If Britain holds, Europe may follow. If Britain breaks, Putin wins without firing another shot. Starmer's words were more than a speech. They were a test of endurance, conviction, and the price a democracy will pay to defend its ideals. Because freedom isn't measured by how loud we speak, but by how long we stand when it hurts the most.